Every time you feel hungry, there's a quiet chemical conversation happening inside your body. GLP-1 medications don't silence that conversation. They change who's speaking. And suddenly, your brain, your gut, and your blood start telling a very different story. Every day, without you ever noticing, your body is running a complex chemical conversation that decides when you feel hungry, when you feel full, how fast food leaves your stomach, how much sugar stays in your blood, and even how urgently your brain thinks about eating. Most people believe hunger is willpower, or habit, or emotion. But inside your body, hunger is chemistry. And one of the most powerful voices in that chemical conversation is a hormone called GLP-1. GLP-1 is not new. Your body has made it since the day you were born. Every time you eat, cells in your gut release GLP-1 into your bloodstream. It rises quietly like a signal flare and travels through your body delivering messages. It tells your pancreas, release insulin, help move sugar out of the blood. It tells your liver, slow down, stop dumping extra glucose. It tells your stomach, take your time, don't rush digestion. And it tells your brain, we're okay, you can ease off the hunger. This is how a healthy body naturally regulates appetite. But modern life changes this system. Highly processed foods, constant snacking, liquid calories, sleep disruption, chronic stress. Over time, the GLP-1 signal becomes weaker, shorter, easier to ignore. Food empties from the stomach faster, blood sugar rises higher, the brain gets hunger signals more often, louder, and with less satisfaction after eating. People feel hungry sooner, think about food more, crave harder, overeat without intending to. Not because they are broken, because the internal chemistry has shifted. GLP-1 medications are designed to step into this conversation and restore the strength of a signal your body already understands. They do not replace a missing hormone, they amplify one your body has stopped hearing clearly. Once a GLP-1 medication enters the bloodstream, it begins traveling the same internal routes your natural GLP-1 does, but it lasts much longer. And that changes the entire chain reaction. In the stomach, movement slows. Food no longer rushes forward. It stays longer, stretching the stomach walls, activating fullness receptors, creating a physical sense of satisfaction that lingers. This alone changes how much people naturally want to eat. Not forced, not controlled. The urge simply quiets. As digestion slows, sugar enters the bloodstream more gradually. There are fewer spikes, fewer crashes, less urgency for insulin surges. Inside the pancreas, insulin release becomes smoother, more coordinated. Inside the liver, glucose output calms. Blood sugar becomes steadier. Energy feels less chaotic. Cravings lose some of their intensity. But the most powerful change happens higher up, inside the brain. GLP-1 medications cross into regions that regulate appetite, motivation, reward, and impulse. These areas don't just decide if you are hungry, they decide how important food feels. Normally, highly processed foods overstimulate reward circuits. Dopamine surges, cravings intensify, eating becomes emotionally charged. GLP-1 signaling lowers the volume on that reward amplification. Food still tastes good, but it no longer shouts. Many people describe something they've never felt before. They forget to eat. They stop mid-meal without effort. They walk past foods that once felt magnetic. Not because discipline increased, because chemistry shifted. This is why people often say GLP-1 medications don't just change appetite, they change thoughts. But this internal shift is not happening in isolation. As weight decreases, inflammatory signals fall. As blood sugar stabilizes, blood vessels function better. As insulin sensitivity improves, fat cells release fewer stress chemicals. Inside the heart, workload eases. Inside the liver, fat processing improves. Inside the brain, insulin signaling becomes clearer, which may influence memory, mood, and long-term neurological health. Large medical institutions, including the NIH, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, and Harvard Medical School, have documented how GLP-1 medications influence not just weight, but metabolic disease pathways. Major journals like The Lancet, JAMA, BMJ, and Nature Medicine have published evidence showing reductions in type 2 diabetes risk, cardiovascular strain, and obesity-related complications. But here's the part that rarely gets explained. GLP-1 medications are not fat burners. They do not melt weight away. They reshape the internal environment that was driving weight gain in the first place. They create a biological state where eating less becomes natural instead of forced, where blood sugar becomes calmer instead of volatile, where hunger becomes informative instead of overwhelming. And that difference matters, because when people fight their biology, relapse is common. When biology changes, behavior follows. However, GLP-1 medications are not neutral tools. They influence digestion, muscle preservation, gallbladder function, hydration, nutrient intake, and gastrointestinal signaling. Nausea, constipation, reflux, fatigue. These effects happen because the system is truly being altered. This is why medical supervision matters. This is why dose pacing matters. This is why nutrition quality matters more, not less, while using these medications. Protein intake, resistance movement, micronutrients, hydration, sleep. Without these, weight loss can include muscle loss, fatigue, and metabolic slowing. With them, the internal shift can support long-term health rather than short-term loss. GLP-1 medications don't create health. They create a window, a metabolic moment where the body becomes more responsive to what you do next. For some, that window supports reversal of insulin resistance. For some, it reduces cardiovascular risk. For some, it finally quiets the constant mental noise around food that dominated daily life. But the deeper story is not about injections. It's about a hormone that was always there, about a conversation your body has been trying to hold, and about what happens when that conversation finally becomes audible again. Inside you, hunger is not a weakness. It is information. GLP-1 medications simply change how clearly that information is delivered. This explanation reflects current scientific understanding described by institutions including the NIH, CDC, WHO, Harvard Medical School, Mayo Clinic, and Cleveland Clinic, and research published in The Lancet, JAMA, BMJ, and Nature Medicine.